Hi, third graders. Today is lesson 2 for lesson 13, spelling words. Okay, today what I would like you to do is on your desk, I want you to put 4 columns. In one column, I want you to write the word not. In the next column, I want you to write is and has. The next column, I want you to write had and would. And the last column, I want you to write are. I'll give you just a few seconds to get that on your desk. Okay, now let's get started. So what I'm going to do today is once you have the 4 columns on your desk, I'm going to give you a word and you have to decide and remember we're doing contractions this week. All of our words have the apostrophes in them. So you have to decide which column the word goes in, okay? So every one of your spelling words stands for one of these endings, okay? So like the first one, I'm sorry, I'm just not feeling very good. The first one is I'd. I'd. Where do you think I'd would stand? Okay, does this end in a D like I'd? No, this has a T. These 2 words have S's. Here we have some D's. So I'd would go in this column, the had and would column. I'd stands for I had or I would, depending on the sentence. Okay? I'd like you to come over. I would like you to come over. Okay, next one is he's. He's. Okay, these 2 words both end in an S, so it has to go in this column. He's my best friend, so it would stand for he is, okay? The S stands for is. Your next one is haven't. Haven't. Okay, so I'm looking for a T because I hear haven't. Okay, not ends with a T. Okay, Haven apostrophe T. I'm so sorry. Okay, next we have doesn't. Again, doesn't ends in a T. So doesn't. DOESN apostrophe T stands for does not. Okay? Now we have let's. Let's. Okay, so where do you think let's goes? Let's go to the grocery store. So let us go to the grocery store. Let's goes in the apostrophe S column. Okay. Now we have theirs. There's my best friend. Theirs. Where do you think theirs goes? Okay. Again, the S column. THERE apostrophe S. There is my best friend. Okay, now we have wouldn't. I wouldn't like broccoli for dinner. I wouldn't. So where do you think wouldn't goes? Wouldn't. Okay, if you did it right, it goes in the not column. Would not. I wouldn't like broccoli for dinner stands for would not. Okay, next we have what's. What's. Where do you think what's goes? What's going on in there? What's. Okay. The S column. WHAT apostrophe S. Ooh, it looks like the not in the is has column is winning, huh? Okay, next we have she's. She's my best friend. She's. Where do you think she's goes? Okay, if you did it correctly, it also goes in this column. S-H-E apostrophe S. She's. Okay, now we have aren't. Aren't. Now don't get confused. Some of you want to go over to the R column right away because I said aren't, but we're looking at the ends of words. So where do you think aren't goes? You aren't eating in the classroom today. Aren't. Okay. Aren't stands for are not, so it should go in the not column. Are not. Okay, next we have hasn't. Hasn't. She hasn't brushed her teeth today. Hasn't. Hasn't stands for has not. Hasn't. So it should have went in the not column. H-A-S-N apostrophe T. Okay. Couldn't. Couldn't. I couldn't get a hold of my mom when I called her on the phone. Where do you think couldn't goes? Okay. If you said the not column, you were correct. Couldn't. Couldn't stands for could not. Okay, next we have he'd. He'd like a bagel, please. He'd. Where do you think he'd goes? Okay. If you said the had and would column, you're correct. He would like a bagel. So he'd stands for he would. Next we have their. They're really cute puppies. They're really cute puppies. If you did this one correct, you put it in the R column for they are. They are really cute puppies. They're. Okay, now we have can't. Can't. Can't's a review word from last year for cannot. So where do you think can't goes? Okay. Cannot goes in the not column. Cannot. Can't stands for cannot. Okay. Isn't. That isn't the best idea. Where would you put isn't? Okay. If you said I-S-N apostrophe T, you're correct. Isn't stands for is not. So those of you doing 1 through 16 words, look at this. This is the majority of our words have the apostrophe T and stand for the not in a word. Most of these contractions, well, all of these in this column, are the apostrophe S, then we have the apostrophe D, and only one apostrophe R-E. So most of our words this week have the apostrophe T or S. Okay, if you are not a challenge word person, you are finished here. I will go ahead and explain your worksheet today. Today's worksheet, page 196. Write the spelling word that is a contraction for each pair below. So number 1 says have not. So you find the word or the contraction that goes with have not. So number 1, I know have not is the same as haven't. Number 3. So you would write haven't on the line. Haven't stands for have not. Hopefully that makes sense. Pretty easy. Number 2, what is? So I would go find the spelling word that goes with that. So this word, the first word will always be the beginning over here. So the first word is what? So I find all the what's. Oh, look, only number 8. So that would be what's, okay? The next one, let us. So I know it has to start with let. Well, looks like only number 5 starts with let. So I would write let's for that one. Okay? All right, so you're just finding the matching correct contraction to the two words over here. All right, if you do not have challenge words, you may shut off the video. If you do have challenge words, let's work on the last 5 words, okay? I'm going to go ahead and erase my board. You do not need to erase your desk. I'm just, my marker board's a lot smaller than your desk, so I need some more room. Give me just a second. Okay, so we have could have. Oh, and we don't have that one on here. Actually, let's just practice since yesterday we didn't get to. Just want you to write the word could have. I could have come over to your house today. So let's check and see how you do with that one. Okay, and could have looks like this. And it stands for could have. Okay, so you leave off the H and the A. Could have. All right, your next one I want you to practice is, this one's a little harder. Mustn't. You mustn't run in the hallway. Mustn't. Okay, so think about the two words that mustn't would stand for, and that should make it a little bit easier. Mustn't. And I think that would probably go in that not column that was so long. Mustn't stands for must not. Okay. Next one. Ooh, this one's hard. This one's ma'am. Okay. Ma'am is M-A apostrophe A-M. Oops, excuse me. It looks like this. Ma'am. Okay. Next one. We're having ice cream at the party. We're. Okay, we're having ice cream at the party stands for we are. We are. Okay, and the last one for challenge words, weren't. You weren't supposed to come in early today. Weren't. And always think about those two words that it stands for, and that'll make it easier. Okay, weren't stands for were not. W-E-R-E-N apostrophe T. So squeezing those words together and taking out that apostrophe O. Okay, we will stop there today. Good job, boys and girls.